And now, Akira Sato, AP Music Theory teacher at Plano West Senior High School, will introduce Nicole Wojtania. And Nicole, I hope you say your name, last name, for everyone so we can all hear how beautiful it sounds.
So today I have the pleasure and privilege of introducing Nikki to you. While I feel very fortunate to have a student like Nikki in my class, I'm just one of dozens of teachers she's had through her K-12 education. So I feel as though I speak today on all their behalfs. I would also like to acknowledge the people that have been in her life since even before K-12. I think accomplishments like this are truly a family endeavor. So I'd like to acknowledge, congratulate Nikki's parents who are here today. Excellent. Now, while I can list Nikki's many academic successes, the list of her accomplishments really only scratches the surface of who she is as a person. I don't mean to trivialize her impressive GPA, class rank, her being named a National Merit Finalist, and her flawless track record in what will be, I think, 16 AP classes by the time this year's done, right, as with Jessie. But in Nikki's case, I think it's what she's able to accomplish outside of the classroom that really, truly make her stand out. As a scientist, she's a two-time grand winner at the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair. She was recognized for her research in cellulose, nanocrystal, cholesteric materials. I had to ask her how to pronounce that. By the way, spell check would not let me put that word. I had to override spell check to put that word in. She is also headed back to that fair again this year for a second time in 2 years as a scientist. As an athlete, she's an Olympic caliber rhythmic gymnast who is a two-time Texas state champion. You can just imagine the physical, mental, and time commitments this alone represents. In the language arts, she's fluent in English, of course, Polish also, and also proficient in French through our AP classes. And I also like to add that she's also fluent in the language of music, currently taking AP Music Theory and having played violin for 7 years. In my class, to say that Nikki is a model student would be an understatement, huge understatement. She's always with me when I'm talking like this and even tries to laugh at my numerous failed attempts of humor. It is very clear that her other students, her peers, look up to her with respect. Even on various ear training tasks that we do, which sometimes are frustrating for students, it would be for me too. Nikki's always there, she applies herself, and is very patient with the understanding that improvements often happen incrementally through daily practice. Now, in preparation for this event tonight, I asked some of my peer teachers if they can offer some insight into how Nikki is outside of my class, the hour of the day that I get to see her. You have to understand, this time of year, when you email a teacher, you're just lucky to get like, yes, okay. That's what you'd expect. But in this case, almost every teacher responded with multiple paragraphs. It's like, I don't have time to read all that. So as much as I would like to share every word they said, here are some highlights. And you get to tomorrow when you go back to school, Nikki, figure out who said what. Maybe one. Nikki is the kind of student who reminds me why I took up teaching. And teachers don't say things that lightly. Another teacher says, in my 21 years as a professional educator, Nikki ranks in my top 10 most gifted students I have ever taught or coached. Another teacher says, her commitment to excellence in all she does brings to mind Vince Lombardi's famous quote. So I'm quoting a quote now. The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field of endeavor. One other teacher said, they would like to clone you, Nikki. Another said that they're prepared to adopt you. So Nikki says she's planning on majoring in biomedical engineering, I guess, as is Jessie. So as a musician turned teacher, I don't even really understand what all that entails. But it's very possible that maybe she's the one that's going to figure out how we could adopt a clone, right? So with that, I present you Nikki Wojtania.
So I would like to begin by saying how truly honored I am to be here and how humbling of an experience this reception has been so far. So I find the 5 horizontal lines of the musical staff as an accurate metaphor for my life. Every individual musical note residing on the staff uniquely contributes to my life's symphony. So the array of notes found on the first staff line forms my foundation, my love for music. This love was born at the age of 6 in a small one-story building across from my elementary school. Though initially my ever-increasing dedication, musical passion, and ambitions were rewarded with approving nods and the occasional sprinkle of candy, now 12 years later, music has provided so much more. As a violinist in orchestra and as a student in music theory, I am able to escape from book learning, freeing my mind from Shakespeare derivatives and my now 16th AP class. For years, music has provided an outlet for free thinking unconstrained by any laws of thermodynamics. Not only has the violin been able to release pressure from a ready-to-pop corkscrew, through music I have been able to develop and nurture my creativity. Rising up the arpeggio on the second line of the staff are my art and humanities classes that had enriched me as a person and added to my world perspective. Whatever I pursue in the future, these classes have provided me with the tools to become a well-informed, accomplished citizen who contributes to and meets the needs of a global society. My enduring fascination with the scientific and engineering universes compose the third line of the staff. Science for me has always been a lens that clarified and magnified the intriguing world around me. My unwavering curiosity has actually paved the way for my 3-year-long research in which I developed cellulose nanocrystal materials that could be adapted as novel anti-counterfeiting materials and environmentally friendly pigments to address pressing problems of fraud and water pollution. The next notes in my symphony are found on the 4th staff line, my lifelong career in the majestic sport of rhythmic gymnastics. During this career, I have had the honor of competing internationally as part of the national team. This sport, along with the performing arts of ballroom dancing, dance, and ballet, have transformed a shy girl into a confident, animated one. The final notes of my life's melody, which lie on the 5th staff line, are my invaluable experiences with French and service as a member and president of the French National Honor Society. However, this melody is not yet complete without a college education. Thus, for college, I am looking to either Harvard or MIT, and I hope to major in biomedical engineering and minor in business or economics with hopes of potentially founding a startup. Music, arts, and dance will continue to be central to my life, directly and indirectly. To be a great engineer, to really produce innovative products, and to advance the frontiers of science, you have to be creative, a creativity that can only stem from art. Art is fundamental to life. Art and engineering both involve making connections and tying things together in interesting and inventive ways. They scratch the same itch, the itch of making something new, something no one has ever seen or heard before. With that, I would like to thank all my teachers, counselors, and mentors, including Mr. Sato, who has really provided a new understanding, depth of understanding to the universal language of music, Miss Kathy King, Miss Randiker, Mr. Milbert, and all the other teachers for their constant encouragement and belief that I can always achieve a little more with a little more effort. My parents and family friends for their unrelenting support in any pursuit, and the most special of thanks to the Selection Committee, Communities Foundation of Texas, and Mr. and Mrs. O'Donnell, whose kindness has been such an inspiration, and whom I'm so grateful to have given me this scholarship, this opportunity to continue composing my life's melody. Thank you.